It's Reggie. Welcome back to Moonlight Moments. If you've been feeling like a background character in your own life, if your name has slipped to the bottom of the list, if you've been so busy holding it all together for everyone else that you forgot the sound of your own laughter, this episode is for you. It's a love letter for the ones who are almost gone, the ones who are still functioning, still showing up, still giving, but somewhere beneath it all are quietly asking, where did I go? We're going on a magical journey today, one that starts in a place you've probably been before. A normal day, a tired breath, a small moment that opens a door you didn't expect. This is not a story about losing yourself completely. It's about noticing just in time and choosing to come back. So wherever you are and however you feel, there's a treasure map waiting. And I hope at the end of this, you remember where X marks the spot. So take a breath and let's begin. It started on a Tuesday. Not the kind of Tuesday where something breaks or burns or explodes. The kind that slowly empties you. Breakfast uneaten on a table, crumbs everywhere, a meeting missed because the baby wouldn't nap, her own lunch forgotten. Again. She wasn't drowning, not exactly, but she couldn't remember the last time she took a full breath. When the house finally quieted, she stepped outside with no plan, no phone, no list, just a single lingering thought. I can't keep doing this. She walked the neighborhood slowly, hands in her sleeves, head down. A breeze brushed her cheeks like a question. She didn't know where she was going. She just knew it couldn't be the kitchen, or the living room, or the next thing someone needed. At the corner of the block stood a little free library. A small wooden box on a post filled with donated books. She'd passed it countless times but never stopped. Tonight, she opened it. Inside was a thin book bound in dark leather. No title, just a gold foiled X etched into the center. It shimmered faintly under the streetlight. Inside, she pulled a thin book bound in dark letter. No title, just a gold foiled X etched into the center. It shimmered faintly under the streetlight. She picked it up, curious. The cover felt warm, like something alive. She cracked it open. Inside was a map. Hand-drawn, delicate, inked with rivers, forests, and mountains, all unnamed. Only symbols, shapes, a winding path. She traced her finger across the map's spiral trail. A sting. Paper cut. The air shifted. The ground tilted under her feet. The street blurred into stars, and suddenly, she was somewhere else. She stood in a forest painted in midnight blue, starlight dripping from the leaves. Everything shimmered, as if the world was made of memory. The book was gone, but the map floated before her, glowing softly. It spoke, not in words but in a whisper that curved inside her chest. You are not lost, yet, but you are leaving yourself behind. Let's find the way back before you disappear. And so, she followed. The land of others' needs. The first place on the map was loud, busy, demanding. She arrived in a bustling town square where people lined up with arms full of requests. Can you hold this? Can you fix me? Can you do just one more thing? She tried. She really did. She held, she mended, she smiled. But with every yes, her outline blurred. Her hands shook from the weight. She looked down and saw herself slowly vanishing. The more she gave, the less of her remained. That's when the map fluttered beside her. It whispered, You can help others and still keep yourself. She dropped everything she held, and the crowd faded into mist. The path of perfection. The road ahead was gold, polished, lined with signs that glittered like awards. Keep going. Be everything. Don't let them down. Mirrors appeared on either side of the path, each one showing her smiling, productive, put together. People along the road clapped. "You were doing amazing," they cheered. She nodded, but her steps grew heavy. The more perfect she appeared, the more tired she became. Her smile cracked. She turned to the map. It no longer pointed forward. It pointed off the road, into the trees. She stepped off the golden path. The mirrors vanished. The applause faded. She exhaled like someone waking from a dream. The Garden of Forgotten Joys. Beyond the trees was a wild blooming garden, untamed, lush, alive. She stepped into it and gasped. Scattered across the grass were pieces of her. A paintbrush with the dried lavender streaks, a notebook with half-finished poems, a song echoing softly in the wind, one she made up as a child, a sweater she wore the last time she felt truly free. She knelt in the soil and picked up a Polaroid, her own face laughing with abandon. Tears fell, not from sadness, from remembering. The map hovered above her and hummed, "You're still here." Mirror Lake. The water was still and silver, so still it reflected not just her face, but her feelings. She saw herself, not the version others depended on, not the one who showed up for everything, but the real her. The one who had grown tired, yes, but still burned quietly with longing. She whispered to her reflection, "I miss me." And her reflection smiled, not with pity, but with recognition. "You're not gone," it seemed to say. "You're just waiting to be seen." The fog of almost gone. Then came the fog, thick, gray, formless. She wandered, confused. The map vanished. She called out, "Is it too late? Am I still in here?" Echoes answered, "You've given too much. You waited too long. You're not who you used to be." She dropped to her knees, exhausted, so close to surrender. And then from deep inside came a sound. A soft hum, a song with no words. Her voice. Her own voice. From long ago. The one she hadn't used in years. She followed the sound, one breath at a time. The fog parted. The map reappeared. But this time, it didn't show paths or forests. Only one golden X. Right over her heart. She placed her hand on her chest. The warmth spread outward, then inward again, like light pouring into itself. A small treasure box appeared before her, etched with the same gold X. She opened it. Inside, a drawing she made at 7. A voice memo saying, "I want to be everything but also myself." Her favorite scent. Her laugh bottled like perfume. A note that read, "You haven't lost me yet, but thank you for trying to come back." She pressed the box to her chest. It dissolved into her. She felt full. Not fixed, not perfect, but present, real, home. She blinked and found herself back on the park bench beside the little free library. The book was gone, but the feeling remained. She walked home slowly, not as a mother, not as a fixer, not as a role, as herself. And this time she knew. She didn't have to wait until she disappeared to remember who she was. She could choose every day in small ways to not lose herself. And she would, because now she knew where the treasure was. And it was hers, all along. Somewhere in the space between responsibility and repetition, between the bedtime routines and the inbox overload, a quiet question forms. Where did I go? This is not the question we say out loud. It's the one we whisper to ourselves in parking lots, in bathrooms, in the rare stillness between tasks. It's the ache behind the smile, the pause before the next, yes, of course. You don't wake up one day and realize you've lost yourself. It doesn't happen like that. It happens in the tiniest ways. The way you stop singing in the shower. The way you delete that photo of yourself because you don't recognize your own eyes. The way you say I'm fine because anything deeper feels like too much work. And maybe you haven't completely disappeared, but you're fading, little by little, piece by piece. This is part of the journey the story was written for. The map in the narrative is not fantasy. It's metaphor. It's the soft instinct that nudges you when you're about to forget yourself. It's the moment you pause and think, I used to be someone else. I miss her. The map shows up right before you go missing. Not after, not once it's too late. And that matters, because the truth is, losing yourself isn't dramatic. It's subtle, it's praised even. The world often applauds women, especially mothers, for how well they vanish into roles. We call it love. We call it commitment. We call it being strong. But real strength is not in how much you carry. It's in remembering who you are beneath the load. When the woman in the story steps into the land of others' needs, that's not a fantasy world. That's Tuesday at 2 p.m. That's being the one who shows up again and again until you can't even hear your own voice anymore. And the path of perfection, we walk it every time we try to be everything to everyone. We walk it in smiles that hide the tiredness, in the I got it when we clearly don't. But somewhere beyond those places, there's a garden of forgotten joys. The part of you that still laughs too loud, dances offbeat, makes messes without apology. It hasn't died. It's just waiting for you to come home. This episode is not about blame, not for the roles you've taken on, not for the care you've given, not how far you've drifted. It's a reminder, a gentle one, that you matter, not just in how you show up for others, but in how you show up for yourself. That your name deserves to be on your own list. That your joy isn't selfish, it's sacred. That being everything to everyone means nothing if you're nothing to you. The treasure she finds in the story, it's not a new version of herself. It's the one that's been here all along, patient, quiet, hoping to be remembered. And maybe you're listening to this right now and thinking, I'm not gone yet, but I'm close. Let this be your map. Let this episode be the moment you step off the path and turn inward. Let this be your breath in the middle of the fog. Let this be your whisper. I don't want to lose myself. Because you haven't. Not yet. And now, you don't have to. You don't have to be inside a fairy tale to know what it feels like to go missing. Most of the time, losing yourself doesn't look like running away or falling apart. It looks like the most normal days. The calendar full of obligations, the fridge full of groceries, none of which were bought for you, the texts you reply to while folding laundry, the meals you cook while holding back tears. You lose yourself slowly, not in fire, but in friction. 1,000 small moments of turning away from your own needs, of saying I'll do it later, when later never comes, of shrinking not because you wanted to, but because there wasn't room to be big. And maybe you tell yourself it's fine. This is just a season. This is what love looks like. This is what mothers do. This is what strong women do. But love doesn't mean erasing yourself. And strength isn't about vanishing. If you've found yourself snapping more often, if you've looked in the mirror and thought, I don't know this face. If you've heard yourself laugh and realized it's been months, you might be in the fog. You might be in the part of the journey where you're almost gone. And you are not alone there. So many women are walking around with maps drawn for other people, trained to navigate everyone else's needs, while never being handed a compass for their own. We're praised for it, celebrated for how selfless we are. But selfless shouldn't mean soulless. And giving everything doesn't mean you owe yourself nothing. The truth is, you can love your family. You can be present, you can be committed, and still miss yourself so deeply it hurts. Because you are not just a role. You are not just a schedule. You are not just what you do for others. You are someone with a voice, with joy, with longings and preferences and weird little habits that make you, you. The woman in this story stumbled into a magical world to remember herself. You don't need a portal. You just need a pause. The signs are already there. When you sigh and no one hears you. When you eat the cold leftovers standing at the counter. When you can't remember the last time you did something just because it made you feel alive. That's the edge of forgetting. That's when the map shows up. Sometimes it's in the form of a breakdown. Sometimes it's a friend asking, "Are you okay?" Sometimes it's this podcast playing in the background while you clean the house. The invitation is quiet, but it's real. You don't have to wait until you vanish. You can choose yourself in ways. You can choose yourself in small, steady ways. You can let the treasure not be for the future version of you, but the one who already exists. The one who's been whispering beneath the noise. Don't lose me. And even if you're already halfway gone, even if you're not sure who you are anymore, you are still here. Underneath the layers, underneath the giving, underneath the mass of function and strength and survival. You're not too far to return. You're not too late to remember. You're not too broken to be whole. And no matter how long it's been, you are still worth finding. If you've been living in the fog, giving, doing, holding, and some part of you is whispering, I think I'm starting to disappear. You don't need to overhaul your life to come home to yourself. You just need to begin remembering. Gently, kindly, without shame. Not in grand gestures, not in a 5-step plan, but in small soul-rooted choices that say, I matter too. Here are some gentle ways to begin. You don't need to do all of them. You don't even need to do most of them. Just notice which ones stir something inside you and start there. 1. Choose one thing that's yours again. In the story, she wandered into the garden of forgotten joys. You have one of those too, though it might be buried under laundry and responsibility. Think of something you used to love before life got loud. Was it music, art, reading, baking, writing, taking photos? Ask yourself, what made me feel like me? Then begin again. Not as a task, but as a tiny reclaiming. Even 5 minutes a week is a doorway. This is not a hobby. This is your light. 2. Look at yourself on purpose. It sounds small, but when was the last time you looked in the mirror and truly saw yourself? Not to check for flaws or fix your hair, but to say, Hi, I know you. Try this. Look into your own eyes and whisper a kind truth. Say something like, You're still here. Or, I haven't forgotten you. This practice isn't about vanity. It's about visibility. Because sometimes, Being seen begins with seeing yourself. 3. Start a remembering list. Instead of a to-do list, make a list of things that remind you of who you are outside of roles. Call it your remembering list. Write down moments, memories, or rituals that brings you home to yourself. Include small things, scents, songs, places, textures. Add a few "I used to" statements. Then ask if any of them still want to be true. This isn't about chasing the past. It's about reclaiming what still belongs to you. 4. Tell someone the truth. Not all of it, not the whole story, just a sentence, a sliver. Say to a friend, a partner, a therapist, even a journal, "I think I'm starting to lose myself." Let the words live outside your body. Sometimes speaking it aloud is the moment the fog begins to lift. You don't need to be fixed. You just need to be felt. 5. Create your own map. In the story, the map guided her back, step by step. You can make one too. Draw or list the places you feel most like yourself. A room, a memory, a feeling. The places that train you, people, roles, habits. The places you want to visit more, inside and outside. Let it be messy, let it be yours. This isn't about escape, it's about returning. 6. Release the guilt. You are allowed to want your life and yourself. You are allowed to take breaks, set boundaries, rest. You are allowed to not be everything for everyone, every day. Mothering in all its forms is not measured by how much of yourself you lose. It's allowed to include you too. There is nothing selfish about wholeness. Begin with a whisper. This week, try whispering this to yourself whenever you feel yourself fading. Don't lose yourself. I still need you. Say it in the car, in the bathroom, in the quiet between tasks. Let those words be the golden thread that pulls you back. Not all at once, not perfectly, just enough to remember. You are still here. You've always been here. And you are worth choosing again and again. If you're in a place where you can be still, I invite you to close your eyes. And if you can't, just soften your gaze. Let this moment feel like an exhale. Let's begin with the breath. No need to change it, just notice. Inhale gently and exhale slowly. Let your shoulders drop. Let your jaw soften. Let your stomach be soft too. Now place one hand on your heart, or your chest, or your belly, wherever you feel like your you-ness lives. And I want you to imagine that beneath your hand, something glows. Soft warm, a flicker of gold, like the X on a secret map. It's been there all along. This is not the place where your to-do list lives. This is not where other people's needs echo. This is not your productivity. This is not your performance. This is you. Your center, your stillness, your home. Breathe into that space. Imagine it getting a little brighter with every breath. You may not feel it fully yet. That's okay. Maybe it's a flicker, a memory, a longing, but it's real. Now imagine this glowing place holds a map, just for you. Not made by someone else, not meant to guide others, only you. This map doesn't have cities or highways. It has places like the garden of what brings you joy, the room where you are seen, the cliff of wild and unapologetic laughter, the stream of quiet knowing, and right at the center, the treasure, your essence, your light, the part of you that never left, just waited. Now ask this part of you a question, softly inside yourself. What do you need from me right now? Wait for the whisper. It might not come in words, it might come as a feeling, a single word, an image, a memory. Whatever it is, trust it. Hold it gently. Let it live with you beyond this moment. Now inhale slowly through the nose. Hold it at the top. And exhale through the mouth like a wave rolling back to sea. Again, inhale. Hold. Exhale. Let this be your reminder. You are still here. And you don't have to disappear to belong. You don't have to vanish to be valuable. You are allowed to be someone, not just something for everyone else. Let this breath be the beginning of your return. You don't need to change everything. You don't need to find all the answers. You just need to remember. You are still yours. And every time you come back, even just for one breath, the map lights up again. You are not lost. You are coming home. Thank you for taking this journey with me. If you've been feeling the edges blur, if you've been showing up for everyone but forgetting to show up for yourself, I hope this story reminded you that you are not too far gone. You don't need to wait for a breakdown to begin your return. The map is inside you. The treasure is too. And every time you choose yourself, even the smallest, quietest ways, you are writing your way back home. Follow Moonlight in moments wherever you listen, and share it with someone who might need a little light today. Until next time, and as always, love yourself better than yesterday.
You've been holding up the sky with your hands and tired eyes, pouring out and skating strong, but wondering why you've been wrong. You get engaged until you blurred, spoke their needs but not your words. Forgot the sound of your own name, but deep inside a spark remains. Don't lose yourself, you're standing there underneath the wearing care. You are the map, you are the clue, the treasure you were chasing. You don't wait until you fade away to cling the parts you gave away. You're not too far, you're not too late. You're still the key, you're still the gate. In the quiet, in the mess, in the spaces you forget, there's a voice of golden bread pulling you back home instead. It is not a path, it's not a plan. It's a soft and open hand. It's choosing you with every breath. It's rising up from what is left. Don't lose yourself, you're still in there underneath the wearing care. You are the map, you are the clue, the treasure you were chasing. You don't need to be brand new, you just need to be with you. Even lost, your light still shines a little dim, but still divine. So breathe in deep, come back again. You're not broken, just been buried.